Hey, now look at this tweet that was on my timeline. This guy says if they get rid of child support, women will think twice about who they lay up with. If they get rid of child support, women will think twice about who they lay up with. Sir, it goes both ways. First of all, let's be clear. The women pretty much have the responsibility of the children. Okay? Only the men, low performing broke men who don't care about their seed, little boys cannot be responsible, want to sit up here and holler about paying child support. How about this here? If you were responsible and weren't so loose with your body and your seed, and maybe if you got a vasectomy, you would have to worry about child support. If you gave a darn about your finances, your life, your lineages, you would have to worry about child support. It wouldn't be a burden for you. Was it a burden for you when you were taking your dusty clothes off, dropping your drawers, your dust bucket drawers? It's easy to go ahead and use protection. When you add up buying protection at a local store to 18 years of payments, do the math and tell me who's the dum-dum. And especially it's on you, because you know why? You already know if you get someone pregnant with a child, you have a financial obligation. So you keep on passing your dusty seed inside these women, then want to holler, oh, it's all on them. What about you? And who would even think about getting rid of child support? And this is your son, your child, or your daughter. If they would get rid of child support, women would think twice. What about the men? Who do we see hollering about? Man, they got them white folks in my life. They got them white folks in my life. No, you loose with your body, both of you. Got them white folks in my life. And what the white folks in my life means, like going to court, the judge, the child support office, probation. Man, I can't get no job. I didn't pay my child support. And then you look, especially in this community, I wish I could find a video where that lady said she had 2 children. Lord have mercy. She had 2 children. It was 2 different dads. His daddy, the son, wasn't paying anything, but she had a daughter. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. I can't. $35 a month. $35 a month. $35 a month. What do you do with that? That was a child support payment for her daughter. His daddy wasn't paying anything. I gotta find that video. I couldn't believe it. $35 a month. Huh. That's what you do. It's not like you sitting up here paying $2,000 a month. And me, in my opinion, when you have one child, man, it should be like a minimum. Let's say for one child, I would say on a broke person's schedule, at least $1,000 a month. That ain't no money for a child. That's what I think. At least $1,000 for one child. That's what they should be paying, unless you're wealthy and rich. You can't make that happen for your child. You better get your butt a second job or start a business, boo-boo. It should be at least $1,000. That way, whatever the mother's paying for her rent or her mortgage, you can at least have $1,000. Let's say she's paying $1,000. Okay, so now we can do $2,000 to have it go toward that. That's not including the food, the utilities. They grow up want to be a cheerleader, play some sport. That's not even including that. So $1,000, that ain't nothing I think, for a child. But I think personally, that should be the minimum is $1,000, and that's $12,000 a year. You can't make that happen. Then your bum behind me need to get nobody pregnant. And ladies, if you got a man 35 months, girl, I would have taken that secret to the grave. If they ask me about him, I might say he's dead. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing. What's $1,000 a month? You can't do it? Why can't you do it? Then go get a second job. That's why our kids are in poverty. If you're just paying $500 a month, then you need to go ahead and do something, get you a second job, and you need to try to at least put $300 a month into an account for your child. Set up a trust. Why that child is born, I don't give a darn about you and the mama not getting along. It ain't about you anymore. It's about your child. But you were sure getting along to get somebody pregnant. How about that? So let's just say, and this ain't no rich person stuff, okay? This is just every day working on a job. If you can't slang this, then please stop slanging your you know what, your ick. So let's say you have a child. If you give it on about yourself and your seed, it's really not hard. I have planned out things for myself and it has worked out. So this ain't hard. I've done it for my niece and nephews. It has worked out. This is not hard. Every now and then I may splurge on me a little stuff. I like a little design, a label thing. Hey, every now and then. But it's not hard to figure out. We're passing on poverty to our kids, and it doesn't have to be. So let's say you're an average working Joe, but you sure can afford some tennis shoes, and you're right going out to that club, sitting on dubs. So let's say a calculator. Average broke ass. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say broke ass. Average broke man. You don't have much of anything. We understand it. You can't come up with an extra $250 a month. Get a second job. Go through a darn newspaper. Those pay $500 a month. Last I heard, that's years ago. But you don't want to do that, do you? So let's just say if you give it on about you're paying child support, you paying under $1,000 a month. $250 a month. I didn't say give it to the baby mama because I know you want to see her suffer, don't you? Heaven forbid somebody expect you to be a man. So $250 a month. This is how we can stop having the kids in poverty. $250 a month on top of your child support, okay? It's going to go into a separate account. Set up a brokerage account. Set up something. $250 a month times 12 months. That is $3,000 a year. You can't sling that. You can't come up with $250 a month. Then you don't need to be spreading your poverty deed. See, I'm sorry, you really don't. That's $3,000 a year. Let's say you start that if you give a darn about your kid and your seed into a different account. Time the child is born, you see it's yours, you're not going to get married. Gotcha. So $3,000. By the time that kid, and have it taken out of your check, write their check monthly, have it taken out of your check. It's not hard. Black folks, sometimes we make stuff hard. We don't want to face it. That's $3,000 a year times 10. Time your child is 10 years old, little thing got $30,000. But I bet you when you add up the Christmas and the tricking with the women's and going to the strip club and the Xbox and the games, you come up with that money. I don't care if you just do $2,000 a year. Ain't nobody asking you a whole lot. $2,000 a year. Let's see what that is. $2,000 divided by 12. So 166. Let's say 166 a month and 66 cents. All right. So if you did $2,000 a year within 10 years, your child got $20,000. We can't do that. Can you and a baby mama agree to split it? I mean, seriously, as a man, though, can you do that? If you can't do that, do us all a favor. Don't get nobody pregnant. Woman, if your man can't do that, I don't know why you're having a child by him for. Well, it's love. Yeah, you're going to be living all by yourself at the child support office and at the EBT office. Why can't we do those things? You don't have to be rich. Cable is cable more. Black man complain about child support. Are Nikes on your feet? Are the buckets on your feet more important than your child? Huh? Is that car, a second car, a motorcycle more important than your child? Your clothes going out to the club, is that more important than your child? Putting money on thoughts and what do you call this thing? The OnlyFans page, is that more important than your child? I got a real nice place you can't bump down one place. You're a man, rough it out. Is that more important than your child? Is it? Some of you take better care of your car than you do your children. And what do they do? Running amok like savages in the street, just shooting, mad, angry, shooting, killing. So black women, if you can't get a decent amount, if you can't get a relationship going, I wouldn't advise start no family with no baby daddy, you making you a baby mama. I really wouldn't. How many black women our baby mothers got a black baby daddy? Girl, you have a life insurance policy. He ain't shit. He ain't chit. He ain't shit. He ain't shit. What if something happens to? Well, he paying. Where's your life insurance policy? What if something happens? We bring in woe without a cause. So you want us to talk child support? Not you don't. I'm sorry. I hate to say this, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Most black men, you don't even qualify to talk about child support. $50 billion, buddy. $50 billion. Don't forget, $50 billion annually is what they cost the community. $50 billion liability, buddy. Liability, buddy, you don't qualify with your $35,000 a month in child support. You don't qualify, boo. You really don't. You are from impoverished stock. To catch a falling knife, as we said in the stock market, the black women are catching a falling knife each time they deal with a dusty. You don't qualify. If they get rid of child support, women are think twice who they lay up with. And you have a point, but let's not forget about you, boo. What about the man? You don't walk around, I gotta be my child support, my child support. Man, he got, how much you paying? I'm paying $100. Get you, poverty D. I cannot. Only group of men. Sure, I've heard guys complain about, about going to Disney. That one man, he spent $17,000 on that. $17,000 to take the family to Disney. He wasn't enjoying it, but hell, he did it. He may get with the men and talk a little something. The wife and kids show. Oh, y'all having a good time? Oh yeah, honey. Sure. You can get that from daddy. That's what a man does. Sure, people vent. You betcha they do. Before the pandemic, my boo, or the ex-boo rather, we had planned, he already paid for we were going on a cruise to France, and then he signed me up for these cooking classes. Now, me, I don't like to cook. I just don't. And I have been married, and it wasn't a problem. Man, I just wanted to go to France for the shopping. I don't care. But I said, yeah. He's like, when I signed up for these cooking classes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you some cooking classes. I'm moving the seat back down. I'm actually in the kitchen. I said, yeah, I signed up for these cooking classes. Oh my gosh. Cooking classes. Moving my bag. I had, when I was coming from Palm Beach, packing some of my stuff. So anyway, cooking classes. Okay, fine. Oh yeah, and I got me some new dishes. Yes, new China. So anyway, I don't really care about them cooking classes. I'm like, yeah, I try the food, but I sure wasn't going to plan on really learning to get home and get to practicing with it. But hey, he signed me up for him. I get it. Yeah, I'll go. But then the pandemic happened, yada, yada, yada. And we had to cancel the trip, and of course, he got the money back. But so I understand people vent. I understand that. I totally get it. But you talking about, I'm just sorry. When you cost the community, if you are part of the group in the BC that is costing the community $50 billion annually, boy, you don't qualify. You ain't got no alibi. Keep your mouth. You don't qualify. Okay? You don't. If they get rid of child support, women will think twice. How about they get rid of you? How about they do that? Public service announcement. If you cannot afford, at least on top of your child support, if you're not paying $1,000 a month, and that's really not a whole lot, but if you're not paying $1,000 a month for your child, just my opinion, unless you want your child just in poverty and knowing that you ain't CHIT, you ain't shit. Unless you're okay with that, don't, honey, keep your seat. Go get a vasectomy. Oh, they only told me to pay $300 a month. You ain't doing nothing. Look at the cost of food. So if you are doing that and you call yourself going to be a man, let me go ahead, because some of you don't have a daddy. So let me go ahead and talk to you about man voice. So what you need to do, so you won't look like a typical dust bucket black man, what you need to do, because we got a bad rep of having too many children in poverty. Okay, when they carry the seed of poverty D, it's always a tragedy. So what you need to do, I'm talking to you in my man voice, because I know y'all daddy Kevin Samuels is no longer here. So and a lot of y'all need a daddy figure. I'm gonna talk to you in my man voice. Son, don't be no bum. How much you paying that girl for child support? Let's go ahead and sit down and let's do a budget. Okay, so you need to squeeze out $150 a month. If you can't do that, you need to be dating nobody, honey. You really don't. I'm sorry, back to my man voice. So, son, what you need to do, if you want to be a man, okay, and not part of the $50 billion liability buddy club, you need to go ahead and come up with $150 a month. Get a second job. Just don't do some any drugs or go stealing. Get a second job. So that $150 a month times 12, you're looking at $1,800 a year. If you can't fling that for your child, then guess what? You don't need to be created with nobody. And we're going to start that time the baby is born. As a matter of fact, if you know it's sure, start it now. But let's say when I wait till paternity is done, fine. That's an additional $150 a month. That's $1,800 a year. Time the child is 5 years old, that child will be 5 years old with $9,000 in an account. If you can't sling an extra $150 a month, then guess what? You don't need to get nobody pregnant. Ladies, if he can't sling $150 a month, why would you carry his seed? On top of your child support. That child will be 5 years old. Out of $150 a month, kid will be 5 years old, got $9,000. We can't do this. You don't want to. So if you can't afford that, then do us all a favor. You need to keep that poverty DC to yourself. Ladies, if he can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you. You really have low self-esteem to keep on carrying the seed of poverty D. Getting rid of child support. If they get rid of child support, women will think twice about who they lay up with. I have a better one for you. If we could get a whole group of women that promise on Big Mama not to carry the seed of poverty D until he is worthy of you and can say, here's a ring and I do. Guess what? The rest of them will think twice about dealing with a dust bucket. Oh yeah. If we could get rid of that mentality, if we could get women to stop dealing with low performing men, we wouldn't have to worry about child support. Because guess what? They would be marrying you and also supporting you and your children. How about that? If we could get women to stop dealing with dust, to actually give a darn about yourself. Because if you keep on dealing with dust buckets, I have to think that there's low self-esteem. There's some issues, underlying issues that need to be addressed, because you wouldn't do this to yourself. Ain't no way in hell. I went to get a prescription today, and they were like, "Oh yeah, any chance that you're, pregnant?" No. Ain't no way in hell I would sit up here. You gotta be kidding me. If they get rid of child support, women will think twice. If we could get a lot of women out of the thinking pattern of Blackistan, they would think twice about the decisions that they make. Women will think twice who they lay up with. If they got rid of child support. So I let you know, this right here sounds like a black man, in my opinion. All he wants to do is get women pregnant, and that's on you. You want me to be responsible? If that's not a low performing man, I don't know what is. He got one like, must be from a dust bucket. It sure as hell ain't me. He got one like, a future dust bucket. If they would get rid of child support, women will think twice. Black women, I promise you, if you can stay away from poverty D, girl, your life will be so less stressful. Divest. Okay, you don't want to be a divester. Stay away from poverty D and carrying his seed. Trust me, you can just start out slow, saving your money little by little. Watch, it's going to come. Investment. You will be sitting up, not stressed, not worried. Might can take off from your job. Live a little. Because you don't got the poverty D around you. And I hate to say it, in other cultures, men and women break up, get divorced. How was it that, I'm sorry to say, and I can't speak for everybody, okay? But how is it we have a situation? It's really sad and heartbreaking. We can break up with men from other cultures. We can divorce men from other cultures. And they're constantly checking in. You doing okay? How's your health? Have you heard about this? I'm just checking in, making sure you're okay. How are your finances? I know the market is down. Are you okay? It's a sad day when we have black women with black men, and the Negroes don't want to even have children by them. They won't get a life insurance policy. And then you'll see black women with non-black men, divorced, and sometimes boyfriends. And those darn men are sitting up here having policies, making sure it's paid. Make it make sense. I don't have any children. You haven't had not one child by them. But they want to make sure, hey, in case something happens. And you're an independent woman, got your own thing. Shoot. Make it make sense. That's how you know there's something wrong within the community. I'm not it kind of put somebody, I'm just stating the facts. Oh, you trying to say these black men is bad? Well, most of them ain't good from what we're looking at. Look at the hood. Can't even go to work, we get murked. Now, black women don't march for you guys. When y'all gonna start marching for us? Oh, that's why we can't do that. We mad. We mad. We is mad. These women on the thousand, but I'm about to die. I can't live. Ooh, make it make sense. You up here worried about child support. Women are think twice what they lay up with. So it just sounds like you don't want to pay child support. But think about it. Doesn't it take two? Doesn't it take two? So this right here, it speaks volumes. And the sad thing is, I think a lot of them in the BC feel this way. I'm sorry. What's the song Beyonce? Bye, bye, boy, bye. You don't qualify. You do not qualify. Why? You're costing us already collectively $50 billion annually. Ain't nobody getting rich after $35 a month in child support. All the black women are doing, I'm sorry to say this, and it may be hurtful. I'm trying to hurt you, but I'm going to keep it real with you. All you're doing is just putting yourself voluntarily in poverty. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.